On your computer, when you try to log on to SAP, you will see a screen like this, and here you'll have the list of systems that you could log on to. In our case, we have only one system, which is the IDIS system. The IDIS system is used worldwide for training on SAP, and we will use this system throughout our training. So you click on log on and you come to a screen like this, wherein you enter your user ID and password, and then you see the standard SAP landing screen. Now here under favorites, you see I already have the web client, so I will just delete this now so that I can show you how to set up the web client as your favorite in the menu. So you click on favorites, press the right button, add other objects. We are going to be adding a BSP application. BSP stands for Business Server Pages and is the SAP's technology for the web client. So the application we want is CRM underscore UI underscore frame. Description is web client, and the start page is default.html. And now when I double click on this, I go to the web client login page. Now if you see, this login page is very similar to the one we saw earlier for logging on to the SAP GUI. The difference being this is in a browser. This is the URL for logging on to the SAP CRM system. Now I enter my user ID and password again, and press the logon button. I get this message saying I could have logged on directly using the client here. Now if you have the so-called SSO tickets on, SSO is the single sign-on ticket, then once you log on to the SAP GUI, you would no longer need to log in to the web client again by entering your user ID and password. You would get in straight away. So now I have saved the URL in my favorites. So when I click it, I get the same logon screen as we did when we launched it from the SAP GUI. Now after logging in successfully, what I see is this whole host of business roles, and CRM is asking me to select one of them. Now typically in a live system, a user would be presented with one or a maximum a couple of roles to choose from. Now we are seeing all the roles because of a special setting that we have made. We can have a look at this setting in the SAP GUI. So I go to the user maintenance using transaction SU01, and then I go to parameters, and in the parameters you see there is an ID CRM underscore UI underscore profile, and the value is a star. Now this value means whatever roles have been defined in the system will be presented to the user when they log in. As an example, if I were to change this to say Service Pro, save it, and now if I try to log in to the web client again, I should not see any of these roles, but I should see only the Service Pro role. So let's give it a go. I'll try to refresh this. So the CRM system is being restarted and I am directly into the main screen of the web client UI. Now the system did not ask me to select any role because it assigned to me the role directly from my user parameters. Now if I want to make sure what role have I logged in as, I go to Personalize, and then go to Personalize my data, and this is where I see that I'm logged in as a service professional. Now for our purpose we will need to access a couple of roles, so we will just reset our setting to what it was originally. So we're back again and we get the message that we have logged this user because on the web client we are already doing some personalization settings. So we say OK, and now that message has not come because on the web client we are out of it. I replace it with a star, save, go back to the web client, and now if I refresh this again, I see a whole host of business roles. So I log in with the Sales Pro role, and this is the familiar landing page. This is an L-shaped structure. On the left hand side you see the navigation bar with its different links, and on the top you see various URLs linking you to Help Center, System News, Personalize, and so forth. So let's see now how we can adapt the web client UI to our requirements. So I click on Personalize like I did before, just to confirm the role I am in, which is Sales Professional. If I click on Personalize the layout, currently I have a skin called Nova, which is the default, but I might want to change it to say New Hope, and lo and behold, the skin has changed. I can alter my text size, and there are different performance settings. So we will not save anything right now, but we will have a look at other settings. So let us now try to personalize this navigation bar here. So if you see, the displayed links are appointment, interaction log, task, email, contact, and quotation, which is what you see here. If I were to add lead and opportunity and save, hopefully these two will appear together with the others on the left hand side navigation bar. So there you see lead and opportunity. Some other settings, I can choose my date format, my time format, and my decimal notation, for example. This section is about Groupware integration. Basically, your calendar in CRM can be synchronized with your Microsoft Outlook or Lotus Notes calendar, and these are the settings for that. You can also set up your favorite CRM links. So let's have a look at some navigational elements that a user would typically use. So account management, let's try to search for an account. This is the search criteria. We can search for corporate accounts, individuals or groups. These are the three different kinds of business partners available in CRM, and we will learn more about these in the chapters on business partners. So let me choose Mega Store. I do not know the initials for Megastore, so I'm using a wildcard asterisk Megastore. So the system should now return all the accounts which have their last name as Megastore. So I hit on the search and I get a list of 66 accounts. Now as you can see, there are various details for each one of those. And if I want to see more fields without moving from this screen, I again can personalize. So say I do not wish to see the postal code. The postal code is here. I take it out. Instead of that, I might want to see the search term, for example. I move it to the displayed columns and I save, and here I get the search term and the other field is disappeared. So this is how you are able to personalize the screen and display the relevant information that you really need to carry on with your business process. Now I've clicked on the Excel button here. This essentially allows me to save this result list, these 66 accounts, into an Excel sheet for further manipulation or for sending it on to another part of the business. The chart button helps me do a quick analysis without having to use any external BW reports. So if I press on the chart button and I scroll down, I'll see the information displayed as a chart from the table. So let's select the street as a parameter, and I find that there are two streets that all the customers belong to, and here they are represented by a pie chart. If I want a bar chart instead, this is a bar chart. So this is a kind of a quick analysis that the system allows you to do as an end user. Now if I frequently use the same search over and over again, I could potentially save this search. So let me try to save this as Mega Store. I save, and I see that my save search has appeared here. So now if I clear this and I simply select Megastore and go, I get the same 66 accounts that I had earlier. So having seen these, let us take a quick look at some of the standard navigational links in the nav bar. This is my home page where I come to when I initially log in. This can of course be customized and personalized based on requirements. This typically shows you the activities for the day, so your appointments, tasks, any alerts, saved searches. Then you have the work list, which might contain another list of tasks related to workflows. So if I am the marketing manager, I might be required to approve any campaign over a certain budget limit, for example. Then I have the calendar. This is especially useful if the synchronization between your Outlook calendar and CRM activities is on, so you can see everything at one place. My work emails related to CRM. This requires specific settings, so we are not able to see it now. Then you have the account management, which we saw just now around searching for a megastore customer and saving the search. Activities are something we will take a closer look in a subsequent chapter. Sales cycle. Herein you can create rebates, campaigns, quotations, sales orders, all the transactions related to sales. Pipeline performance is typically used for measuring the performance of a chain, a distribution chain with dealers, super dealers, retailers involved throughout. Sales operations is all the backend data, creating products, creating pricing, employee details, billing, and so on and so forth. So let's look at the products, for example. So herein you can create a new product or a new service. So if I were to create a new service, for example, I will need to select the ID, the base category, the unit, and so on. And then we have the reports. This might give me any alerts or any key reports like related to logistics, how many units got shipped out yesterday, and so on and so forth. And the dashboard is essentially, there is nothing available in the standard system, but this kind of presents the data from the reports in a more graphical format. So that, I hope, gave you a good idea about how to log into CRM web client as well as the SAP GUI and the various settings you can make on the user interface for the CRM web client.